Welcome back to Share Parenting. Today I wanted to talk about another tool that I use quite frequently, and it is again a writing-based tool. If you hate writing, it might not be the best tool for you, but you can do it with voice only. So we'll talk about that. This tool is called Black Journaling, and it's pretty simple, and there are some rules. So when you are feeling a quote unquote negative feeling, because there are not actually negative feelings, we'll talk about that in another video. But if you are feeling angry, jealous, resentful, bitter, worried, anxious, any of those things, one of my favorite things to do is to black journal. And essentially, you use pen and paper and you pour out all of the things that you're feeling. You keep writing until you don't feel that way anymore, until you feel exhausted. There is something about writing that taps into subconscious levels of your brain that just thinking in and of itself can't do. The way that I like to describe this is imagine a bowl with yarn, just a mangled mess in it. And you would have to take, one end and work your way through to untangle it. And that's sort of the purpose of this journaling activity, is to latch onto a piece and work it through to make it make sense. Because without it, you're just sitting in this soup of swarming thoughts and feelings and emotions and stress and frustration that you can't do anything with. It's just sitting there, percolating in your brain, and it's driving you nuts. Black journaling helps you to get it all out so that you are fresh and clear and able to move on with your day. The way that you black journal is that you write without a filter. Any words that you want to use, swear words, whatever, just write it. You don't need to worry about spelling, punctuation, grammar. Doesn't have to make sense. If you're starting to write a thought and then you jump to another thought, it doesn't matter. Nobody is reading this. You write and write and write and write and write. And it doesn't, this is the thing that's really important. Honor what you feel. If you are feeling like your husband's a big fat jerk, write it down. That doesn't mean he's a big fat jerk. It doesn't mean you even really think he's a big fat jerk. It's just what's sitting inside of you that you have to get out so that you can think clearly and logically again. And a lot of times the stuff that comes out is really crazy. And we would feel so guilty if we actually said these things to somebody, which is why we hold them all inside. And then they make us feel physically ill. So you just let it out. Then when you're done, you have to destroy it. This is the most important part. If you do not destroy your black journaling, your brain will not trust you enough to be fully honest. If you're keeping a record, there is a slight chance that somebody could read it. And then all of those filters that protect you from saying things so that you don't offend people pop up and you cannot truly release. So you must be willing to destroy it. Burning is my favorite. I have a stainless steel sink, so I will light the paper on fire, hold it as it burns, and then drop it. Maybe you have a super sensitive fire alarm detector thing. You don't want to do that. You don't have to. If you have a fire pit, you can use that. You certainly don't have to burn it. I know people who will just rip it into tiny pieces because they find that to be faster or maybe even more therapeutic. I really like the therapeutic element of watching these thoughts be burned away, but some people don't. So rip it up into teeny tiny shreds, boil it. I've even heard people boiling their papers. They'll just drop it into boiling water and let it boil until it's just mush. Whatever it is, find a way to destroy it. So it cannot be retrieved. It cannot be seen again. If you have a revelation that you want to say, write that on a separate piece of paper. Then, when you're done, give yourself a moment to return to the positive, whether that's with an affirmation, a white journaling is one thing that some people do, something like that. So you would say, okay, I feel better. Now I'm going to reset with a gratitude list. I'm super grateful for this, and this that my husband does. I am super grateful for healthy children. I'm super grateful for my new house. I'm super grateful to be living in Idaho. Like whatever it is, find those gratitudes. Oh, baby's waking up. and let yourself come back into the positive. So you can do this any time of day. You can do this in large quantities. You can also do it in really short quantities. I've done it where I write like 3 sentences because I'm super mad at somebody. Got it out, rip it up, move on with my day. You can do it on a napkin. There's not really rules as far as that. You just have to destroy it. That's the main rule. And then if writing is really, really, really not your thing, then you could voice it and delete it. Some people process better that way. You do not want to black journal spew to another person without their permission. So black journaling inherently is pouring and dumping out this like a lot of yuck. It feels awful and you're trying to get it out of you. You don't want to pour that on another person. So what you do, if you are a person like me who really likes to process by talking, you reach out to somebody and you say, hey, I'm having a really hard time. I really need to vent. Are you in a good space right now so that I could vent to you? Get their permission. If they speak crazy language, you might ask if their bubble is strong. Are they going to be able to hear everything you have to say without it penetrating them and making them feel down and yucky and gross? This is especially useful to do with your significant other because you don't know, like they might have had a terrible day at work and they're already in this negative place. You don't want to add to that. You know what I mean? It's okay if one person isn't available all the time. Sometimes we get really offended if our best friend can't hear us right now or our spouse can't hear us right now. It's okay. It's honest. We want them to have that feedback for us to say, you know what, actually, right now I can't. Give me time to eat, decompress, whatever. I'll get back to you and we can talk about it then. That is honoring themselves and their boundaries and being truthful with you so they don't end up resenting you. It's a good thing. Feel free to move on to a different friend. Feel free to set up a free call with me. Be like, dude, I just need to vent because I can handle it. I don't schedule calls when I can't handle it, but I can handle it and I will be happy to hear you. And there's a pretty good chance that I don't know any of the parties involved. So I have clear vision on the whole situation and I'm not going to judge you or them in the long run. It just is what it is, and I will hear it, and we can problem solve through it and move on. That's one of the freedoms of speaking to a stranger. Even though you see me here on YouTube, or you might see me on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, most of us don't actually know each other in person. So you can vent and not have any fear of me thinking badly of your spouse or your kids or your mother or mother-in-law or whatever. So find that person. Shame, biggest isolator there is. Speaking out is how you fight shame. So it's very important to get these feelings out, honor them, acknowledge them, let them be what they are. Doesn't make you a bad person because you resent the fact that your husband gets to sleep while you're getting up with the baby. That's just human. It's okay to feel that way. It doesn't make you a bad person because you resent the fact that your 4-year-old woke you up at 3 a.m. It's just human. It's also not the 4-year-old's fault. But you're allowed to feel annoyed. Get it out so you can move on with your day. I love, love, love black journaling. It has been absolutely transformational to have that tool in my toolbox. I recommend it all the time. Please use it. And comment below what results you have had. Have you been black journaling? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Have you found something else that helps you purge out all of the yucky feelings so that you can feel present in your life and feel good about it? Have you found that writing works better than speaking? Because I definitely have. Or are you somebody that absolutely hates writing and the only way you can do it is speaking? I would love to hear your input. I would like to start a conversation. So comment below. Be sure that you subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell so that you get my new videos every Thursday. I look forward to seeing you here, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.